You know, one of the hardest things in life is realizing that we cannot control what other people do, say, or think about us. And yet, most of us spend so much of our energy stressing over exactly that. We overthink how people behave, we replay conversations in our heads, we worry about why someone didn't invite us, or why someone treated us in a certain way. And here's the truth, it drains us, it steals our peace, and it makes us forget that the only thing we truly have control over is ourselves. This is where Mel Robbins' idea, the let them theory, comes in, and honestly, it's so simple yet so powerful that once you understand it, it can literally change your life. So, what is the let them theory? It's a mindset shift. It's about learning to say, let them. Let them do what they want. Let them be who they are. Let them react the way they choose. Because their actions, their choices, their behavior, it's not about you, it's about them. And when you stop trying to control or manage how others live or behave, you suddenly get your energy back. You stop fighting battles that were never yours to begin with. Think about it. How many times have you been hurt because you expected someone to treat you the way you treat them? You go out of your way for people, but they don't do the same. You invite them to something, but they don't invite you back. You show love and loyalty, but sometimes you get coldness in return. And in those moments, the pain you feel is not just about what they did, it's also about the fact that you expected something different. That's where disappointment lives, in the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. Mel says, instead of getting stuck in that gap, just say to yourself, let them. Let them not invite you. Let them ignore your message. Let them choose differently. And once you do, you stop personalizing their behavior, you stop giving it the power to ruin your peace. But here's the best part. When you let people be who they are, you finally start to see who truly belongs in your life. You start to notice the people who choose you, who value you, who show up for you without being forced. You get clarity. And clarity is power. This theory isn't about being passive or weak, it's about being wise. It's about knowing the difference between what you can control and what you can't. Because the truth is, you can't control whether someone loves you, respects you, or treats you the way you hoped. But you can control how you respond. You can choose peace over chaos, self-respect over chasing validation, and growth over disappointment. And once you start practicing the let them theory, you'll realize that life feels lighter. Relationships feel clearer. And you feel stronger, not because people changed, but because you stopped giving their behavior the power to break you. So let's imagine this. You've got a close friend. You call them all the time, you check in, you ask how they're doing, but you notice they don't really put in the same effort. Maybe they don't return your calls. Maybe they never make plans first. Now what happens? Most of us panic inside, we think, why aren't they valuing me? Did I do something wrong? Should I chase them? Should I confront them? And that's where the let them theory slips in like a gentle reminder. You know what? Let them. If they're showing you they don't want to invest the same way you do, let them. Because their actions are telling you something their words might not. And here's the beautiful part, when you let them, you're not losing anything. You're gaining clarity. You're seeing who's really in your corner without having to fight for it. You're protecting your energy, and you're making space for friends who will actually meet you halfway. Now let's take it into relationships, romantic ones. Let's say you're dating someone, and they cancel on you last minute. Again. Or maybe they're always too busy to give you their time. The natural response? Anger. Hurt. Trying to argue your worth into them, like, don't you see how important this is to me? But with the let them theory, you flip it. You say, okay. Let them cancel. Let them show me where their priorities are. Because when you let them act however they want, you're not forcing the relationship to work, you're watching whether it actually does work. And if it doesn't? You've just saved yourself from months or even years of trying to drag someone along who never intended to walk beside you in the first place. And think about family expectations. Oh, this one is big. Families, especially in close-knit cultures, often have a picture in their head of what you should do. Maybe they want you to marry a certain person, live a certain way, take a certain career. And the pressure is real, you don't want to disappoint them. But here's the thing, you can't live your whole life based on someone else's script. The let them theory says, let them expect whatever they expect. That's theirs. Not yours. You don't have to fight them, you don't have to argue, you don't have to carry their disappointment like it's your burden. You just let them. And then you do what actually feels right for you. Because at the end of the day, who's going to live with the consequences of your choices? You, not them. So let them think what they want. Let them judge if they need to. And then let yourself live in peace. Picture this, your coworkers gossiping about you behind your back. The old version of you wants to defend yourself, explain, fix your reputation. But according to the let them theory? Let them gossip. Let them waste their breath. Because while they're stuck talking about you, you're moving forward, building the life you want, focusing on things that actually matter. Their energy stays trapped in the drama, but yours stays free. Here's another one: a group of friends decides to leave you out of plans. Maybe they all go somewhere and you weren't invited. The gut punch? It hurts. But instead of spiraling into, why me? What did I do wrong? The let them theory says, let them exclude you. Let them make their group decisions. Because if people can cut you out so easily, maybe they weren't your people to begin with. And maybe, just maybe, this is the space you need to find the friends who never forget to count you in. It applies to success too. Maybe you're working hard on a dream, building a business, chasing an idea, and people roll their eyes. They say, that's unrealistic, you can't do that. What do? Normally you'd fight back, defend your vision, try to prove them wrong. But Mel says, let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them think small. Because their beliefs are theirs. They don't stop you unless you hand them your power. You let them sit in their disbelief while you quietly get to work proving, not to them, but to yourself, that your dream is possible. The magic of this whole theory is that it works in every corner of life. Friendships, love, work, family, even strangers. Think about driving, someone cuts you off in traffic. Your instinct is to get mad, honk, maybe even yell. But the let them theory says, let them cut you off. Let them rush. Let them carry that stress. You just keep driving safe and calm, because their behavior doesn't have to dictate your peace. And here's the deeper truth: when you start applying this, you stop being controlled by other people's moods, decisions, and expectations. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop fixing. Instead, you just watch. And what you notice is that people tell you who they are through their actions. Your job isn't to change them, it's to let them show you. And then decide if that energy belongs in your life. You know what's wild? When you actually start practicing the let them theory, something magical happens. You stop living your life on other people's terms. Because here's the truth. When you're always chasing approval, always trying to control outcomes, always bending yourself so people stay, guess who disappears? You. But when you say, okay fine. Let them, you get yourself back. Think about it. Your confidence doesn't come from whether someone claps for you. Your happiness doesn't depend on whether someone picks you first. Your worth isn't tied to whether people stay, go, like, or dislike you. Instead, your power comes from you. From knowing, I'm enough, I'm whole, I'm fine, even if they don't get it. And here's the crazy twist. When you stop trying to control people, you actually grow faster. Why? Because your energy isn't wasted on them anymore. It's poured into yourself, your dreams, your peace, your goals. That's where the magic of self-growth kicks in. You build confidence because you're no longer performing. You find freedom because you're no longer forcing. And you unlock joy because you're no longer waiting on anyone to choose you. And I promise you this, the moment you really let people just be who they are, is the moment you finally start being who you are. That's the gift of let them theory. Not just stronger relationships, not just less stress, but a stronger, freer, happier you. Look, at the end of the day, life is short. People are gonna do what they wanna do. Some will stay, some will leave. Some will love you, some will doubt you. That's just reality. You can spend your whole life trying to control it, or you can choose peace, you can choose freedom. That's the beauty of the let them theory. When you let people go, you stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into places you were never meant to fit. And here's what happens: the right people stay. The ones who truly care, they don't need convincing. They don't need chasing. They show up. And when you live like that, when you finally stop gripping so tight, you unlock this confidence, this calm energy that says, I know my worth, and I trust that what's meant for me will stay with me. So here's the takeaway: don't fight for a seat at the wrong table. Don't waste your soul convincing people to value you. Just let them. If they love you, great. If they don't, great. Either way, you win. Because the second you stop trying to control people, you start controlling your life. And that's real freedom. So next time you feel that panic, what if they leave? What if they don't care? What if they choose someone else? Just smile and say, let them. That's not weakness. That's power. That's self-respect. That's peace. And that, my friend, is how you take your power back. And here's the truth: life gets so much lighter when you finally let people be who they are. You stop fighting battles that were never yours to win. You stop begging for seats at tables where you were never meant to sit. And you realize, peace, confidence, and freedom don't come from controlling others, they come from controlling yourself. So next time someone shows you their truth, don't argue. Don't beg. Don't break yourself trying to make them stay. Just smile, step back, and let them. Because when you let them, you let yourself rise. So, here's the challenge I'll leave you with: the next time someone doubts you, ignores you, or tries to leave you out, don't fight for their attention. Just let them. Because your energy deserves better. If this hit home for you, make sure to subscribe for more real talk like this. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one thing you're finally going to let go of starting today? And remember, life's too short to chase people who don't see your worth. The ones who are meant to be in your circle will stay. Always.